Scale fluctuations. They suck, don't they? But they are normal. So losing a kilogram of body fat, it requires hard work, doesn't it? It requires time, dedication. But how easy is it to see a 1 kilo increase on the scales? Too easy. You can spend a week in a deficit, lose a kilo, and then easily regain that weight with just one meal out. And if you don't know where the majority of that weight gain is coming from, this can be very, very demotivating. But rest assured that the weight gain is not from you undoing a week's hard work. Yes, if you've been, if that meal out puts you in a slight surplus, then a tiny amount of that weight regain will be from body fat, but the rest will be from everything else that impacts the scales. To actually gain a kilo of body fat, you would need to consume in excess of approximately 7,700 calories. This because 1 kg of body fat contains roughly 7,700 calories, give or take. So did you consume an extra 7,700 calories? No? Then you're okay. It's not body fat. Instead, it's all this other stuff that impacts the scales, such as glycogen, food weight, water weight. We'll start with glycogen. What is it? So glycogen is the storage form of carbs in the muscles and liver. The liver contains 80 to 100 grams of glycogen, and the muscles contain 400 to 800 grams of glycogen, depending on how jacked you are. And every gram of glycogen holds on to 3 to 4 grams of water. If you combine the weight of muscle, liver, glycogen, and then add the 3 to 4 grams of water that each gram of glycogen is holding on to, you end up at 2 to 4.5 kg. A lot of weight. So let's simplify the maths and say each gram of glycogen is holding on to just 3 grams of water. When we add this to the middle ranges of liver and muscle glycogen storage, we end up at around 2.7 kg, 2.7 kilos. If someone has been in a deficit and they've been breaking into this glycogen storage, particularly if they've been low carb, you can see some pretty substantial increases from just one carb heavy refeed, 2.7 kg to be precise. You've also got the weight of the food. I've used this example before in the previous video, but let's go for an 8-ounce steak because everyone knows how much that weighs. 8 ounces, which is around 0.2 kilos. And the weight of that food will still be passing through the digestive system when you weigh in the next day. Obviously, you didn't just have a steak. You're not crazy. You would have had chips with that, which will have added to the glycogen storage. They will have probably been salty, pretty salty. Salty chips, amazing, which can increase water retention. And naturally, when we eat more salt, we tend to take on more fluids. And this fluid also weighs something. For example, a litre of water is around 1 kilo. You're not gaining 1 kilo of body fat when you drink a litre of water, but it is impacting the scales quite significantly. All this stuff combined can add up to a ridiculous amount of weight, and none of it is body fat. Yes, if you've eaten in a surplus, you'll regained some body fat, but most of it will be all this other stuff. At times like this, it's important to think critically. If you're trying to lose weight, ask yourself if you were in an overall deficit that week. If the answer is yes, then you will have broken into energy reserves or body fat. And it's just a matter of time before that actual fat loss is showing on the scales. You've just got to keep doing what you're doing.